Hello, I'm Maura Carley, founder and president of Healthcare Navigation, and I want to share with you today that the income indexed Medicare premiums for 2024 have just been made available. And so we'll include that in our email copy. Just to refresh your memory, from 1966, when Medicare began, through 2006, the taxpayer heavily subsidized everyone on Medicare Part B. And that changed in 2007. So in 2006, everyone paid $88.50 for their Part B premium. And then income indexing came in 2007. And the highest amount you could pay then was $254.90. Of course, the brackets have changed too. Today we're dealing with 6 brackets, and as long as you make $103,000 or less as an individual, or $206,000 or less as a couple, you will pay the base premium of $174.70. That's going up from this year, $164.90. And you know what? I think almost everyone would agree that this is more fair, that Medicare Part B is income indexed, but it also makes everything so much more administratively cumbersome and complex. And there's a group that I feel some sympathy for. Fortunately, I'm not on Medicare yet, but there was a time when the maximum bracket for an individual was $224,000 and for a couple $448,000. So whether you had a joint return, and remember, they're looking at the joint return 2 years prior. So whether as an individual you made $224,000 in gross income, or $428,000 and through the roof, those were the thresholds. And then the government added another grouping, and that is for an individual making $500,000 or above, or a couple of $750,000. And the only, not the only, but it just seems unfair that there's so little difference between, let's look at this, somebody making $194,000 versus somebody making $500,000 in living in a high cost area, and the difference in the monthly premium is $34.70. That's a big difference in income for a rather small differentiation. A couple of other points. Social Security has announced that it's going up 3.2% with its payments. And I did I didn't do the calculation on all 6 brackets, but I did it on a couple, and it looks like for those who are paying income indexed amounts, these amounts are going up about 6%. So if you're on Social Security, you're losing ground, but that's important to know. And let me just say that the base premium, I should repeat, is $174.70, and then it goes up to a maximum for the very wealthy Americans of $594 a month, and similarly, the lowest Part D income indexed amount is $1,290, and the highest is $81 a month. One other point that we've mentioned before, but this is a reminder, if you have a qualifying event like retirement or divorce, you can use Form SSA 44. to petition Social Security to base your income index premiums on current projected income rather than 2 years prior. And you should be able to do that for 2 years. But something like a big capital gain that pushes you up for 1 year does just that. You pay more for your Medicare for that year. That amount is reflected in your tax return. So I hope this information is helpful. I think most people agree people with more money should pay more. And then as you become less affluent, you'll pay less. But again, I think that broad category that is the second from the highest is very broad and not really that fair for some of the people at the lower end. But it is what it is. Thank you for listening. Hope you find this information helpful, and I hope to see you again soon.